Alright, so we got a really fun one here. Should be a really good scrap here. So Carla Phillips versus Song Yadong. Carla Phillips, he's got a few wins in the UFC now. Was on the Ultimate Fighter. Didn't make it through, but he will be coming into this one with a five. I think it's a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage. I think his actual reach is around 71, 72. Song Yadong doesn't have the greatest reach, but he's got really fast hands, so he kind of compensates with that. But Song Yadong, yeah, he's undefeated, 5-0-1 in the UFC. He's had that one draw versus Cody Stamann, but technically undefeated in the UFC. He's only 23, so he's a massive prospect here. Alright, so we'll break down the striking of these two. So Carla Phillips, he has really nice spinning kicks, nice spinning kick to the body, nice spinning heel kick. He's got that karate background, of course. When he is pressuring opponents, he will use his boxing. He'll throw that 1-2 when he's on the front foot. He's just got to be careful of that though versus Song Yadong, just because Song has that really nice counter too. He will back up a few steps and then walk opponents onto his straight right, and he sits down on that straight right. As you saw in the Alejandro Perez fight where he one-punched him, one-punching at bantamweight. But yeah, it's mostly speed. The speed's what catches opponents off guard. He's got really fast hands. And yeah, basically, he's got really good striking defense at range. In the pocket, though, he can get a little wild, but generally has the firepower advantage in the pocket. And he's always throwing combinations, never just throws a singular strike. In the grappling in this one, where I think Carla Phillips would likely want to get there, would want to take the fight. So he'll look for takedowns, and then once he gets on the mat, he'll look to advance to dominant position immediately. He'll either look to take the back, flatten him out, go for a rear naked choke, or just land some ground and pound from back mount. But yeah, his top control is pretty nice. He's got some pretty nice transitions on top. For Song Yadong, basically once he gets taken down, he looks to get back to his feet immediately. He'll use an explosive scramble attempt just to get back to his feet. If he does get on top though, he has really aggressive ground and pound, and he generates a fair bit of power from that. Same with Carla Phillips. He'll look to land some ground and pound as well. He'll look to posture up if he's comfortable on top. But yeah, basically the takedowns these guys use is that, well, the takedown that Carla Phillips uses is that inside leg trip in the clinch, and that could give Song Yadong problems because in the clinch he basically just looks for offense. You saw that in the Marlon Vera fight. He gave up a few trip takedowns in that one. He was basically just looking for those slashing elbows, throwing combinations of slashing elbows. It looks good, and like if your opponent's not going to drop levels and shoot a double leg, then that's fine. But it just can lead to you getting taken down. Alright, so how these guys win? We've already discussed this, but for Song Yadong, he's straight right. It's pretty much it's a missile coming at you, and he's got super fast hands. For Carla Phillips, his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and his stand-up are really nice. His wrestling probably needs a little bit of work, but he's pretty good in those two disciplines. And yeah, he's transitioned that well over to the UFC. When he's on top, yeah, smooth transitions. We talked about that before. How these guys lose. For Carla Phillips, he has problems defending leg kicks. Saw that in the Błachowicz fight. He didn't really know how to defend them. Kind of got stuck at range. Błachowicz was just kicking his legs up over and over again. For Song Yadong, I've got a few more points for Song Yadong just because there's just more tape on him, and there's just more. It's just generally more tape on Song Yadong, so I found a few more things. But yeah, he can slow marginally in the third. Nothing crazy. Like, he won't slow down huge. It's just mostly his movement that slows down. He kind of turns into a flat-footed fighter and just starts looking for landage combinations that way. It's nothing crazy. It's not too bad. It doesn't affect his career too much, but it's just something to look out for. He can overextend on the two. This is a problem of his, because it leads to him getting reactive double leg, blast doubled. He can get caught in range as well. So like after he overextends, opponents can capitalize on that, start landing some short hooks with much tighter technique, just in range while he's off balance. But yeah, also his takedown defense isn't the best. He has good scrambles, but yeah, takedown defense isn't the best. So pass to victory for these guys. For Kyle Phillips, try and push pace just early. Get in the clinch, start making him grapple a little bit, shoot for some takedowns, try some clinch takedowns. I wouldn't recommend the leg kicks in this one, just because I've seen Song, once he does get leg kicked, he looks to return one, so you don't really want to get into a leg kicking war with Song Yadong if you have problems defending leg kicks once they're thrown back at you. But also, yeah, if he's going to overextend on that double leg, just go for if he's going to overextend on that straight right, then look for that reactive double. Try and get him on his back. Look for some top control there, and then look to use your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on top. But for the most part, just keep him at distance, so he has the opportunity to overextend on his straight right. That's for the most part, though. So for Song Yadong, when Kyle Phillips does once he does enter his range to try and land his boxing combinations, look to counter with that hard straight right. Try and cut off the cage if you're going to be on the front foot, and leg kicks as well, because Kyle Phillips has shown just a hole in his game, just defending the leg kicks. So in conclusion, it's two prospects. I think Yadong has definitely the hand speed and the power advantage. Phillips has probably a more path to victory than Yadong would have. But on the feet, I feel like Yadong is just going to be catching him when he's coming in and generally landing the better offense at range. I think Phillips will have to take it to the ground. Like, he can have his moments on the feet, but I just don't think it'll be enough to warrant a decision. So I believe he'll come in with like a grappling heavy game plan, try and use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on top, and that's probably his path of least resistance for this one. But overall, I think Yadong will win this one. He'll just be a bit too much on the feet, and also he'll be able to nullify Phillips's takedowns and keep it on the feet. So yeah, I just think Song's going to win the decision. It's my prediction. Let's look at the betting lines. I think the betting lines are about right at the moment. They've got it about 60-40. If it were to get any higher on Kyle Phillips, maybe 270, that's when I would start looking at playing him maybe. But just overall, I think Song wins this just a lot. But Kyle Phillips, definitely has the path to victory. He's an awkward opponent to verse, so who knows. But I just think Song wins this one. And if Song got up to like $1.80, then maybe I'd play him as well. But I just think just because Kyle Phillips is so awkward, I don't feel like betting on Song at the moment, just because I'm not quite sure of what Kyle Phillips is capable of. He's just so young in his career. But I think Song wins this one still.